Whose water do we cross here at the Martinez Bridge? Americans are defined by crossing water, Atlantic, Mississippi, Rio Grande, Pacific, defined by the water that clings in our hair, our blood. These blacktop waters, yardsticks of imagination, heft of curiosity, draping like prophecy, Martinez to the truckee. Whose water? We fling ourselves to Nevada City, Sparks to Tonopah, whose sacred places? Dusted with abandoned nests of settlers, dead homes, dead towns by the river highways, the slow and patient places, a brick chimney, a broken-backed barn, our intrusive, curious reaching, not the first. Sierra Nevada will tell us where to cross, not on human scale. Swirls of stone, the thumbprints of the sacred, human measures, thumb, forearm, heel, toe, not here. Not on human scale, these valleys. But the desire to measure, to build boxes for the prayers. And here they are, the boxes, near the baffling confusion hillsides. These are the stages of living rock, the mountain, the letting go, the tumble, ending both as individual and collective, polished alone. River stone is to hillside as a splitting off, a moving out. Curiosity, Nevada, a place of moving through, and Utah negotiates bird by bird, a brick chimney, a broken-back barn along the living highway, patient and quiet. Runoff laces hillside bird, raptor and corvid, hillside carved by water. The boxes for prayers, while outside the hillsides, the trees, mystery trees, evergreen, sacred, and prayers without end to the edges. The hidden water, the sparkle water. Whose water? Dead filling stations, Kerouac Cafe, psalms, arcanes for a new age, curiosity become canon. Whose water do we cross? Whose younger mountains? All legend now. Colorado, Rockies, chatty aspens, birch. Cross the continental divide at Monarch Pass, pulls San Francisco Bay, pulls mine and mine tailings of a past self piled on the mountain. The poison we thought we'd removed, leaching back into whose water? Legend and fact, the fall from Denver to Salina, electrical storm flashing in cloud lanterns. Whose water? Whose dead filling stations? Whose historical societies? Spoons and farm equipment, brick corner buildings, old and fading posters pressing palms against the buildings, raptors and corvids, prayers to the edges, Shelu, singing tassels in harvest from close fields, measured sacred, mouths full of prayer, human scale. The tires cry it on the highway, the toll road, and what's a road trip for but to create legendary pilgrimage, chutes and waste of collective history, persuasive ringing of selected history. We roll, we ride, we fly cross water. We come to see the lightning, to be the lightning, to read the poems, curious and stubborn, the young people of the vast and immeasurable prayers, the young that are hope, hold hands full of solution puzzles, listen for what tools can be pulled from these words. My prayer songs, raptors that they are, dead filling stations that they are, but the bricks of the chimney, the sometimes sturdy if empty foundation. We sing, we blaze like the fire, we eat the corn, the mouth of sacred, the mutual care of sacred, the reach of artist to artist. Gift of being heard. We pull our kin around us and sing. Community care is self-care. I'm some of this water, some of these hillsides, most of the mine tailings. Ozarks sing in redbud and hickory, crystal and smokehouse sandwiches, a sweet hip rock dance of leaf, stone. Yes, I said it. These hills call me, and the Mississippi pulls hook deep in throat and belly. Just before we cross her, a church, a box for prayer, brick and abandoned, but for walnut trees, pressing leaves against the glass from the inside. And outside, the great and singing river, prayers caress out to the edges, the tug of those hooks open me stories, new, misremembered, bedrock old stories, birthed from wounds in heart, hawk scream breakfast, the road, the curiosity, the colonization, the old war. This is the singing that took that Lumbee boy Another dead filling station, another red cardinal, another river slipping under the tires. I am peach pie and a jar of buttons. I'm local honey. I'm a rib shack with fried okra and black-eyed peas. These are moans of recognition, water moans, the cry of Atlanta. This water I know. More hawk scream. The tabby kitten fence walking before noon. The smell of these exact trees. A smile before the storm. The storm's coming. North, and we have become motel people. Empty bottles in the parking lot, the smoke in the stairwell. We are the prayers at the edges in an all too human scale. A cathedral fire. In the night, the police come. Further north, prayers twined in the tree bark and lichen on the edges of the middle place. Prayers all the way to the forest, all the way to the ocean, singing in my fingertips, my back teeth, singing in the old injuries. Tires, measuring for those who need measure. We wait for the star falls, the rain falls, the store and spill of electricity from cloud to cloud. Measuring, because measuring's a habit, a spasm, because none of this is on human scale. And here the water knows me, home forest, rocks, written with story, with ritual, with the spaces between, roadside trees, fantasy draped with kudzu costumes, ecstatic river songs. The mountains are steaming. There's fog on the mountain. It's called a cloud, and it holds on to it. Whose water now? This house has settled into the hollow, is settling still. Each narrow wall slat, each murmuring floorboard, every stair, well water from someone's origin place. Further north, into gentle trees, the electrical storm rocks us between walls, walls at angles, stairs at angles, and the bear rummages the old apple tree in darkness. The mantis and tiger swallowtail rummage the late light. More puzzle box, more wild scale. And if there's a constant, it's the dead building, fainting slowly, falling away, like rocks off of a mountain, polished alone. A piece, a key, a symptom. Then to the city made of story, mistranslated, mispronounced, Library of Congress, a mountain, each book polished, whose water, mispronounced, mislaid, misdiagnosed. Mixed feelings. In the eye of my own disappearance, if I look deep, I can see my reflection. Everything here is on human scale, everything but the high watermarks on the boxes for prayers, the boxes for the creation story, a hot lie at the center. Self-replicating. We shake loose, west and north, into mountains with a clearer eye, over rivers whose waters can trace my threads, track my beads back to when we were closer cousins. These train tracks, not river, but measure, brush strokes of control, falling away from the mountain like any other rock does, polishing on the lay-bys, on the spurs, aging, learning to sing river songs and come to rest against a box, stones that have settled in, settled down, and the story streets that float above the water. Yeah. WPA Bridge of the Neosho. I stood on it in full flood with my dad, the water just kissing the underside of the boards, the river moans shivering up my legs. It stood until a flood licked out the footings. They replaced it, but when I dream the Neosho, the old bridge is there. They took the zinc out until they hit the daylight of 3rd Street. You could see the crack in the pavement. It looked like another pothole, and there was sunlight in the mine. Sunlight just there, with the dull ache of lead and the grim scowl of Jack. Those cottonmouths know some songs, too. They know some fish songs. And once, crossing Tar Creek Bridge, a grandma snake got hit by a pickup, and in her last breaths, we drove up on her there like a burning library, her songs falling away in curls, taken by updrafts like smoke prayers near the water. She looked me in the heart and whispered, just the one secret. Thank you so much.